Hello there, folks. I'm Dan Brown from sortofinteresting.com, and today you're joining me on Narrowboat Tilly and on a bike with my friend, not on the same bike, but on the same boat at least, as we head up the Montgomery Canal and just have an absolutely fantastic day. That's my friend working the lock up there, and basically we just move the boat about, I don't know, maybe 5 miles or so upstream to more just down on the bottom side of the Frankton Locks, where the Montgomery joins back onto the main line of the Llangollen. And really, it was such a beautiful day, as you can see, that I couldn't resist making it into its own entire video, because not only did we have this beautiful boat trip that went on for hours and hours and hours, and again, we were travelling so slow on Tilly, even in these very slow speed-restricted waters, that a holiday boat caught up behind us and we had to let it pass so that it could get down to the Frankton Locks before they were locked up again. Literally, a lock on a lock. But once we were at Frankton Basin, we then hopped on our bikes and cycled all over Shropshire. I don't know how many miles, must have put in best part of 15 miles, just riding all around the place. Went to St Martin's and got something to eat, and then went back down to a completely different stretch of the canal, miles from here, and then just sat by this beautiful canal, which you'll see at the end of this video, and ate some vegetable samosas and then carried on biking. Now, how fantastic is this? Just boating along and being flanked by a pair of swans, one of which got in front of the boat, and as I was coming into the lock here, I saw one of them go out behind me. Well, my friend and various onlookers were like, "Oh, watch out, there's a swan, there's a swan." So, again, as you can see, the swan didn't seem to really care too much, and especially as we started letting the water in to fill the lock, it was like it was on the rapids, I suppose, but it just carried on, and the other swan milled around on the outside of the lock, and that's all there is to say about that. But it was certainly an amusing little twist in the tail, and twist in the swan neck, I suppose, although that actually sounds quite violent, so I retract that statement. Now, this video, you might have noticed, is very heavy on photos, as I wanted really, in this particular video, not to focus on showing you endless clips like this of the same old, perfectly slow, steady boating, because this was actually a day where it was pretty calm and still, as you can see, when I feel like half of the boating I've done over this recent time, probably again the last 7 or 8 months, there always seems to be either rain and drizzle moving at some point, or some sort of severe gale blows up as soon as the ropes are untied. You're just seeing a little close-up here of just how much all the Montgomery Canal on this stretch for a couple of miles has been really trimmed back, because it was unbelievable how overgrown this canal was, and it is fantastic to see how much work has gone on here over the last year or so, cutting back so much, because the canal, on that stretch where you just saw me do the little boating selfie there, the stretch for about a mile ahead down to that little aqueduct you just saw, was more tree than actual clear canal, and that's no exaggeration. And you can imagine over the summer, as the growth and greenery all came to the forefront, the canal part was so narrow. So there's Tilly moored up with one other boat, friend for the night at the Frankton Basin, and off me and my friend went on our bikes. One of the things that you may notice about the cycling footage is that it's not quite the dazzling, beautiful sunny day that it was while we were on the boat, and that's largely just down to the sheer amount of cloud that came over in the later part of the day. And ultimately, I suppose even if you look back at some of those photos from on the boat, you can see as the sun's hitting the ground or hidden behind clouds. But I really just wanted to show you a very quick, very, very, very quick look at St Martin's itself, one of my favourite little canal-side places, which is 2 fields away from the canal. And this is Stan's, the supermarket that I always go up to buy a few supplies and carry him back across the fields. I will be doing and uploading a proper video with a lot more of this biking footage, just a pure bike ride video, looking at St Martin's properly and Gabowen and some more of the lesser travelled country lanes that I've been on. And really, like I say, I went up to stands at St Martin's, got some vegetable samosas and a few bits and pieces, some bags of knick-knack crisps, lovely stuff. Google them if you're unfamiliar. And I said to my friend, right, I know exactly where we're going to go down to. So we biked back down to the canal, and just around the corner here, you will see we sat on a log and, well, just enjoyed these incredible surroundings while we had our dinner before hopping on our bikes and biking into Oswestry. So, on that note, I suppose I'll say thanks so much for tuning in for one of these absolutely perfect boat life days. Feel free to check out the hundreds of boating videos on this channel. Feel free to subscribe or add me on Facebook or like the Facebook page, all that sort of stuff. And please do consider checking out my short boat life books for the Kindle. Check for links to everything just mentioned in the description below. But until the next time, keep it boat worthy, keep it bike worthy, keep it boot worthy. Have a fantastic day and farewell.